I'm in pain. Oh my god, first pod in the new car. I just drove around for about an hour trying to find somewhere to park to record because my windows aren't tinted yet. I know that probably doesn't sound like a big deal, and I shouldn't even I'm not trying to sound like a brat. Genuinely though, like I just get phobias that people are watching me, or I get nervous that people are watching me. What's that called? I get paranoid that people are watching me. And obviously when the pods are visual, I'm like fucking like screaming, talking, like I talk with my hands. I get so aggressive, and I'm like, all right, I can't sit in the parking lot of where I live and do this because my neighbors are gonna be like schizophrenia. Like our new neighbor has schizophrenia. So I drove down a little bit. It was like raining, and I was like, okay, I gotta drive back like over this way. So anyways, doesn't even really matter. Just know there might be people literally just staring at me doing this, and if that's why I'm a little bit tense, that's why I'm a little bit tense. So welcome back to the pod. I think we're a little bit more than a week late. I'm not mad about it though, because we were early the week before, and then I didn't want to get in the habit of being on that same day. I want to be on Tuesdays. I know this is on Wednesday. We're gonna act like it's not though. We're trying, guys. I uploaded like a over 20 minute YouTube video of my life the past month, and you guys seem to really, really like the style of it. So I'm going to try and keep doing those. I'm trying to stay consistent on both. We are doing it. We're doing it. It's in the works of being done, and it's been going good. Damn, that girl has a really nice butt. She's smoking a cig. I'm kind of jealous. Update on life. First of all, new addition to the pod. See these little things? My manager sent these to me. How sweet is that? Like the first week or two we were working together, she sent these to me, and I finally have them on my mics. I think they're the cutest things ever. But that was so nice. They look so much more like classy. Little life update though. One, we have a new studio we're sitting in right now. This is my new car. I've kind of said a little bit on social media about how I got a new car. I didn't though want to like come online and seem braggy at all. I just moved to like a location I've dreamt of moving to. I got a new car within like the first week of being here, maybe not even the first week. Like it was literally within 3 days of being here, I got this new car. So the storyline with this car you'll see in this week's YouTube video. When I came down not too long ago and I looked at this car, it had a sunroof that went all the way to the back. Okay. It's actually not called a sunroof. It's called a moonroof, for the reasoning that it does not open. It's like a panoramic moonroof. It doesn't open. You could click a button up here and it went dark. So then it's like you could just see it was glass, but it just looked like a glass ceiling with film and you couldn't see through it. Or you could unclick it and then you could see out of it. It was super cool, other than the fact that it didn't fucking open. In my opinion, I was like, I would rather have a shorter sunroof that does open. So the dealership, they were actually super nice. Tom is there. I traded Tom in for this vehicle. It's called JM Lexus in Southeast Florida. I think like Margaritaville, Margaritaville, Florida, bro. Fucking, of course I would think that. Tom is there at their dealership, I think. So if you want him, go get him. But anyways, they were like, all right, Sadie, like, it's completely fine. I had bought in the car. I literally kept it for a few days. I already explained the story. People are probably like, all right, shut the fuck up. We don't care. But I had the car for a few days. I realized, you know what? I thought I could go without a sunroof. I didn't know when I drove down to get the vehicle, and this was like beginning of December when I was still living in Georgia. I didn't know the sunroof didn't open. When I got there, wrote the check, literally purchased the car, and was in the car about to drive off, the guy told me, it's on video. Like I said, it'll be in the YouTube video of this week. And so I was just like jaw dropped, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do I do? That's like, I've never even fucking heard of something like that. So I kept the car for like a day. I called him. I told him that I didn't really want it. I was just kind of like, I don't know what to do, whatever. There was a return policy, so I was able to bring the car back and return it. And they were like, we'll let you know if we get one that comes in with the mini sunroof or like the half sunroof or whatever. And it wound up being like 2 months. It wound up getting here literally right when I moved down. So it kind of all worked out perfectly. I don't know. I feel like God like aligned those things and I didn't really know about it or whatever. But yeah, so I have my car. I'm so grateful. I feel very blessed. I try and always say to people, I don't think materialistic things matter too much. But I was really excited about getting a new car, about getting something that just felt fresh and new. I think the black interior, the sun's literally like going down, so it's kind of not even daylight out anymore. But the black interior for videos has already looked so much better when I've been filming in here. And I just think it looks better. I just think it all worked out good. I love the car. I literally could put a baby in here one day. So I'm excited. I really like it. Okay, last I talked to you, I think it was my first day or second day being down here by myself in Florida. Most of you guys know I moved. If you didn't, update on life. I moved out of Atlanta. Y'all, this literally transpired within like 2 weeks time. Like, I decided I wanted to move. I literally was going to extend my lease in my apartment, didn't know whether I wanted to or not, and then I was just like, nope, I gotta go. And within that week, I found a place for rent online. I called the people. They were a little bit hesitant because I'm living in kind of an area with like older people, and they were like, what the fuck is this 21-year-old like wanting to come down here for? Like, she can be partying, whatever. They accepted me. Thanks, guys. And so yeah, it was just like very abrupt. I know the area I'm in pretty well because I've traveled down here a lot. Ford's lived here. Actually, his parents have like a house here. He has family here. So I've been down here with Ford. I've came down here with my friends. I've came down here with my family before. So I feel like I know this area pretty well. So it's honestly funny when people are like, oh, like you need to know the spots and where to go. I honestly don't really know that many places, but I feel like I've been down here enough to where I kind of have familiarity, whatever that word is. I'm familiar with it. And honestly, it wasn't as scary to me. Like I can't really, I guess, say, oh, I moved somewhere. Well, I mean, I've never lived here before, and I still don't really know anyone, but I didn't move to like Boston. Well, I have family near there. It's not like I moved to like California and I didn't know a soul and like I had no idea where I was. Like, I guess I am kind of familiar with it, but I still don't really know that many people down here. I don't really know anyone my age. Like, if I go on Snap Maps, there's not one head popping up. So I guess it was kind of a big leap, but it's not as scary as I thought at all. Like, people were asking for advice on was that TMI Instagram, like the little question thing I had, and people were like, how have you been dealing with not living near your family? And obviously that part's hard because I love my family. They're my everything. Like, even this car, obviously the first thing I would normally do is drive to my parents' house and be like, all right, look at my car. Like, look at my car, whatever. They haven't seen the car. Only my mom's seen the place I've lived in. I think I'm going to move down here permanently. So I've kind of been looking at some places to make that possible. And like, I don't know, even just like touring homes and condos or whatever. I'm kind of like, oh, like it's so weird not having my family here and doing it on my own. But I think it's something that not that many people get to experience. And I'm very grateful I'm getting to experience, I guess, all this time just doing stuff by myself and like spending so much alone time. It hasn't been awful. I miss my family. I miss even my friends in Georgia that I would be able to be 20 minutes away from. But personally, for me, I love where I moved so much. I love the ocean. I love tropical. Literally, I just drove down a road, guys, and I was like, you could drop me here and tell me I was in Hawaii and I would think I was in Hawaii. It's truly beautiful down here where I moved. And for me, I'm like, that's enough. People are everything. Like, if someone said you're not going to see your family for 3 years if you move down there, I would never do it. But realistically, I'm probably going to see my whole family next month. I can go travel back home when I want. So I guess I just have that leisure and I'm very grateful for that. But being down here, I spend most of the time alone except for weekends. The past 2 weekends I have done stuff, so I'll get into that with y'all. But it really hasn't been that bad. I haven't felt very lonely. When the sun is shining and the weather is good and I can go outside and do things, I don't feel lonely whatsoever because for me, I'm like, that's me all day long. Like, my body wants to go outside and be outside. Like, even when I'm editing, I sit on my porch and I'm just like, I feel fine. I feel great. So maybe I'm in the honeymoon phase. I'm not sure, but whatever. Let me give y'all a little update on my body. I did get plastic surgery. No, I'm lying. I need it though in my fucking right winged shoulder. Y'all, I have had this shoulder pain for a little over a month. It started in January, and if you guys remember, in my last apartment, my bed was on the floor. So I never got a bed frame and all that because I knew it was like a temporary living space for me. My mattress was on the floor. So I had my mattress on the floor at my parents' house before for like years until a boyfriend came and was like, you need to like fix that. And I never had any issues with it. I liked it on the floor. Like I was like, oh, it's nice. You can just like roll the fuck into bed. So my apartment in Georgia, having it on the floor, I didn't think much of it. Well, then my shoulder kind of started bothering me when I would try and sleep. And this happened like a little bit after Christmas time. And I remember I mentioned it to my parents. Like I was like, I like can't sleep because my shoulder hurts so bad. Well, it was only really at night when I would lay down. Wasn't thinking much of it. Then as time went on and I moved down here, it started to bother me more and more and more. And it wasn't like I did something to it. It wasn't like I hit it the wrong way. It was like, no, like this is just weird fucking pain. And it felt like it was just constantly out of place. So being down here, it just continued to get worse the first 2 weeks I've been here. And last week I was like, I can't deal with this pain anymore. Like I genuinely was like, something is wrong. Like I might have something in my back that needs to be taken out. I might have like actually fractured something. I don't know. But it was just getting to the point where I was like 24 hours a day. It was bothering me. So I booked an appointment with an orthopedic. I have a cyst on my back here. I know it sounds really fucking gross, but I have like this little like dime size cyst, and I went to the dermatologist actually for that because I thought maybe that's what it was. She said probably not. So I booked an appointment with an orthopedic, and last weekend, y'all, I was literally at the bar like wringing my shoulder around. That's how much it was bothering me. Like, not, I know it sounds like bad, but like not even alcohol could get my mind off of my fucking shoulder pain. So I go to the orthopedic on Monday. He takes a look at everything. He's kind of like feeling it. And he's like, I think you just have like bursitis. I'm not really sure what that is. Scapula bursitis. And he was just saying it's like the muscles tight and stressed or whatever. So he gave me some over-the-counter meds to take. Well, I don't want that shit. Like I was kind of just like, no, like I don't really want over-the-counter meds to just like make the pain go away. Like I want this shit gone and fixed. So then he offered me a steroid shot. I was thinking, oh no, he's gonna have to put it in my ass. But no, he actually put it right in my back. That shit did not kick in at first, and I left bawling my eyes out because I was so frustrated with this. This is all also vlogged. Then I went to a chiropractor yesterday. He kind of fixed me up and it felt a lot better. It's starting to bother me again though. And funny enough, I was looking at myself in a mirror and I was trying to figure out what the fuck this stuff was. Y'all, my shoulders are slanted, like genuinely slanted. So when I went to the chiropractor, I told him that. I was like, if you look at my shoulders, he was like, oh yeah, you're slanted and so are your hips. And he looked at my back and told me I had mild scoliosis. He said it wasn't bad, but he was just like, yeah, you definitely have that. And I haven't had my walking desk down here. When I normally edit things, I have like a desk I walk at because I don't have to be like hunched over like I'm sitting. And I don't have it down here just because I'm not on a ground floor and I feel like it's loud to the people below me. But yeah, I need that shit back ASAP. Anyways, that's the storyline with my fucking shoulder going on. Let me run you through the past 2 weekends and my first 2 weekends of me in South Florida. So my first weekend down here, y'all know my friend Lexi, Hair by Lexi. She lives down in Fort Lauderdale now. The past like 2 years when I've came down and visited, I would stay with Lexi. I remember I got an Airbnb here last year, and then after that I went down and stayed with Lexi, and it was like our first time. It was our second time hanging out, but first time like together. Me and Lexi have known each other for like 2 to 3 years, but we've only hung out a handful of times. It's been more than that now. Anyways, though, she's like the one girl I kind of know that lives in South Florida and I'm close with. So my first weekend down here, we had both moved into new places. I was moving down here. She was moving from where she lived into Fort Lauderdale. She kind of lives like downtown now in the city. And so she was like, hey, why don't you come down this weekend and we can go out in Fort Lauderdale? Well, I actually went. I picked up my car, traded Tom in, and then I went to Lexi's, and she has a friend over. Funny enough, can I say this? I don't think she would care. You guys will just think this is funny. Lexi introduces me to a friend, right? And she's like talking about this guy that she had met in Fort Lauderdale and like hung out with or whatever. And he was in the same category of work in which I like to talk to a lot of people in this same category, which is fucking awful. I need to stop because they're actually the worst men to exist. Anyways, though, they're talking about that in the bathroom and I overhear it. And Lexi was like, oh my God, Sadie talks to a man in this category of work as well. We'll just call it, what should we call him? Say something so obvious. We'll call them, we'll stick with category. Same category, okay? Same category of work. So I walk in and she's like, oh my God, wait, is he blah, blah, blah? And she was asking the question, whatever, I'm fucking talking about athletes, okay? It's fucking obvious. She was asking if he was on a certain team and I was like, oh no, like I've talked to a different guy on a different team. And I was like, wait, but I was talking to a guy on that team. And she was like, wait, no way. And I'm like, yeah. We explained who it was. We were both like kind of talking to the same guy. I wasn't really talking to him. We had just like messaged a little bit. I literally need to get the fuck out of that. Like, why do I do that still? I need to never talk to a man online again. But like, unfortunately, those are the only men I ever like. Probably because I've never fucking met him in person and I can never get the ick. Anyways, we're going to keep on going. I'm being mean. That was like an instant bond between me and this girl. Because I'm just like, that's funny as fuck. Like, how the fuck do we both, like, we were both like had fucking conversations with the same guy, whatever. We go out this night and it was Friday night. We had met up with my friend. One of my guy friends does live down here too. We should probably give him a name. We're going to call him Kitty. So my friend Kitty lives down here too. He's a boy, even though it sounds like a girl. Kitty was down here. We met up with some of him and his friends. I don't know what the fuck this Friday night turned into. We wound up we were at the bars and then we went to a different bar and then they wound up picking us up in like these Lambos. These boys, Kitty and his friends, were driving us around in these Lambos and like nice cars. We wind up at like this massive house on the water and jumping in the pool. I don't know. Next thing you know, I'm on the phone with a man in the fucking this category, getting bitched at, screamed at. I don't know why they all want to scream at me, literally every single one of them. And so we wind up leaving. I think we went back to Lexi's apartment and we were all in the pool, right? Guys, we didn't go to bed till about 5 a.m. this night. 5 a.m. Keep in mind, they were soaking wet from the pool. We wake up around 8 a.m. and we're all still drunk. And we're like, oh my God, like, we have to go get on a boat in an hour. So we all go an hour north, okay? Like an hour north from Fort Lauderdale to get on a boat. This was like even close to where I live, so I was able to just drive my car back up here. So we get back up here, we go and get on this boat, and I'm like, oh my God, like we're literally where I live. This is exactly where I live. So we go and we hit like all the little restaurants on the water and stuff like that. Guys, so we go to all the restaurants we kept on going to were like packed full of people. So we got back on the boat and we went to a restaurant like further south down like the inlet. And we get off at this restaurant and my mom's texting me and she's like, oh my God, like you're at my old spa. I used to love that place. And so Kelly, I told you guys, Kelly moved down here when she was in her 20s. So she like knows the area a little bit too. So she's like, yeah, whatever. Like I love that place. Well, this place we were at had just been renovated. So we're sitting down at this table and the waiter sits us down and she's like, oh, like, so do some of you guys do social media or whatever, talking to us? And I'm like, oh, like me and Lexi, like, yes, we're like both, whatever. And so then I don't know what the fuck happened at this dinner, or at this like lunch. I think we all had like probably 7 pina coladas each. Like genuinely, we kept on getting brought these pina coladas with toppers. And y'all know me, I like can't do sugary drinks. We wound up moving the table halfway through the lunch and like 6 glasses broke off this table. And this is a nice fucking restaurant. Like my mom used to go there. She was like, it was like tiki hut, beachy vibes. They just renovated it. Okay. It was like, it's like recently opened. We're sitting there breaking glasses. I'm like, oh my God, like fucking embarrassed. Like I'm like, oh no, I feel so bad. Well, then one of the managers comes out and he's like, oh my God, was there any glass in y'all's food? Like, is everyone okay? And we're like, yes, we're so sorry. We feel bad. He's telling me how he has 2 teenage boys. He gets a picture of me. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? We go to the bathroom. We leave this restaurant feeling good. Okay. We're feeling good. We go out to like the beach on the boat and we all jump in the water, get wet, whatever. There was no fear in my mind about sharks. Kelly keeps on freaking me the fuck out about sharks, okay? I need her to stop. She keeps on convincing me I'm going to literally get eaten by a shark out here. So we get back on the boat. By the time we get the boat back to, like, the slip or whatever, this kid's house, It's literally nighttime outside. It's nighttime. And us girls wanted to go all the way back down to Fort Lauderdale. Keep in mind that's like an hour away. So what do? We go to my place. We all put on hoodies and we get in an Uber and we go all the way down to Fort Lauderdale, an hour away. So we go all the way down there. This night was a little bit odd. We went to like so many different bars and none of them were really hitting. We wound up at a club called Sway. Oh my God, I forgot about this. So I could tell when we got into this club that it was just giving like 18 around that age mark. So there's no 8s and above. There wasn't much to work with in here. Well, then I look up and I see like this table area and I'm like, okay, those boys look cute. They look kind of young, but they look like some cute kids. Okay. So we're standing there drinking and I'm like, all right, we're either going up to this table or we need to leave and go back to a different bar because this is just not working. So I don't know how we got these guys' attentions, but we did. And they let us up on their little table. So we get up there and I'm looking around and I'm like, these kids have to be 18, like literally 18, 19, which nothing's wrong with that. But I'm 21. I don't want to sound like the girl who's like, oh, I can't hang out with like an 18-year-old. But let's keep this in mind too. Cooper is like almost 16. So when I think of someone in college still, in high school, like I know that sounds stupid. Like maybe if I was in college, I would feel different. But because I feel like I already went through a college stage and then kind of now it's like even before I was 21, I feel like I was out of the college stage. So now when someone is just younger or in college, I think I just view them younger than they actually are. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to say this without sounding like a fucking bitch or like I think I'm better, because I don't. I just feel like to me that seems young. Like I view Cooper as like Cooper's going to college soon. He's a freshman in high school, but I still view him as like, you know what I mean? Like Wyatt, my older brother, he graduated his junior year because he went into baseball and stuff. So he even left early. So I just don't really know a ton of people still in college. All of my friends in Georgia, none of them are in school. So like I just think when people are in school, it's a little bit like, oh, that seems like so long ago to me, even though it wasn't. I feel like I've lived a million fucking lives in my life, guys. These kids are getting out their IDs to prove to us that they're not 18. So there was a few like 22-year-olds. I was into one who was very, very hot. Unfortunately, every single one of them was also in the same field, fucking sport, that me and Lexi's friend were like into guys in. And I'm just like, no, like I can't fucking do this. Like I actually have to get away from this fucking sport. Like these men are terrible. So they were cute. They were cute guys. And I did realize one thing. I know how I always talk about how I don't have a type, but the one thing I did realize this night, I'm into guys with light eyes. Like that is something that has always stuck with me, except for one man I've been with. But like I feel like we were just friends. But every single guy I've been with, dated, talked to, been into, it's not blondes. For a while I thought it was blondes. No, it's just light eyes. No one has brown eyes that I talk to. They all have light eyes. Like if I'm like, holy shit, he's hot, he's gonna open his fucking eyelids and you're gonna see blue, green, hazel, something light you will find, okay? Anyways, that's off topic, but I just realized that this night. So we wind up going downstairs. I think one of the guys like bought us shots, which I then felt bad because I realized they had a table and I'm pretty sure they had alcohol. None of us really knew what was going on. It was like this, you couldn't like fucking hear anyone in this place. So then I turn around and I see a man who's about 6'7" once again. And I'm like, oh, that's my move. That's my jump. That's my move. So I walk right over and I pull him over. He is a tall, masculine boy. Looked a little young. So I'm talking to him. I introduce him to the guy that just bought me a shot and I say, oh, this is my brother. I made sure the guy that bought the shot didn't hear that though. Then we're with these other guys kind of talking. Once again, it's a club. You can't really hear shit. So we go back up to the table. Then I was sweating my dick off. Like me and one of Lexi's friends were sitting there and we were like, we are so fucking hot. Like we need to get the fuck out of here. So We leave this club, and obviously we're like to the guys, oh, do y'all want to come with us? Like, we're going back to Lexi's, like, we're gonna go like swim probably, who fucking knows, like, I don't even know what we were saying. And they're like, no, like, we bought this table, like, we gotta stay. And we're like, okay. So we leave, and then we're like, wait, this is lame, like, we can't leave without like bringing people with us. Like, we're just gonna go back to the house and chill, like, we should bring them. So we walk back in and we ask them again, and they're like, no, like, we paid for this table. And it was the most humbling thing ever, because I'm like, I swear these kids have fake IDs and they're 18 years old, and like, we're not getting turned down by these 18-year-old fucking guys right now. Like, we need to get, I can never go to that place again. So we go and get in the Uber, and I'm just like, I have to forget about this. No, we're like sat there, and we're in a minivan, and the door's open, and walks out Mr. 6'7". He was actually 6'6". I asked him his height. So this is Mr. 6'6", man. He walks out, and we're like, oh, all of y'all get in our car. Like, do you guys want to come with us? Come with us. So they come back to Lexi's with us. We all wound up getting McDonald's, whatever. I don't even know what the fuck we were doing. Like, I'm pretty sure I was eating carrots. And the guys left because we were all tired. We all passed out after we ate down some McDonald's. The guys left, wake up the next morning, and it was Sunday. I don't think we did anything this day, right? Oh, no, it was Super Bowl Sunday. So we had to go again. We are fucking dead at this point. Like, actually, I can't drink like that anymore, guys. I die. Like, I cannot do a 3-day bender. I literally am about to, starting tomorrow. So I'm lying, but whatever. And we wound up walking to a restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, eating, got some drinks. Kitty, my gay best friend, boy, he's not gay, but like, he is. He met us at this place with his friends. We all hung out. Then we got in their cars. We were going to a Super Bowl party. So we went to a Super Bowl party, hung out there. This past weekend, it was Valentine's Day. So Lexi and her friend came up here. They stayed at my place. We went to the bars up here. So like I said, it's like a different scene up where I am. I would say it's more slow paced, and it's just more slow than like Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is like a city party vibe, not like Miami, a little bit less, but like the further north you go, the less and less you get. So we come up here, we went out to eat. The next day we actually had to be on a boat in Fort Lauderdale. So once again, we had to drive an hour south. So we were up here for the night, hung out, went to dinner, whatever. Next morning, woke up, drove down to South Florida, got on this boat. It was actually for Kitty's friend's birthday. Kitty is not fucking real that I'm calling him that. It was for Kitty's friend's birthday. So we got on this boat. A lot of these kids went to Bama. I knew one boy on the boat just from like mutuals I have with him or whatever. It was mainly like the guys and their girlfriends. And then like me, Lexi's friend's name is Jasmine. Me, Lexi, and Jasmine, all in shirts that Jasmine made for us for Valentine's Day that said best ex-girlfriend. Well, as we get going on the boat, all the guys are like kind of tweaking, and we're like, oh, what's up? And they're like, we can't play music. I personally didn't think this was a big issue. I'm like, okay, like, not a big deal. Well, then we realized like throughout the day, we spent probably like 8 hours on this boat, maybe longer. And when you're on a boat for that long with no music, I never realized how much music played a role in today's generation and society. Like, our parents used to probably get along and know each other because they didn't have music, or like music as accessible as we do. Whereas like we were on that boat, so many people throughout the day were like, oh my God, this is so odd without music. Fun day. Love all the people that we were with. They were all super sweet. We get off the boat later that night and we're like, let's go out. We wound up getting dressed, getting ready. Literally none of us washed our hair. We all had saltwater hair. We went down to our fave restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, got some drinks. It was the first day of my period and my fucking shoulder was killing me. Me and Lexi were like exhausted. Jasmine, I will say, she will never sleep. Like, she actually is good at just going. She can never stop. And there were some hotties out, I will say, but we were like dead. Like, I was like, I can't go out. Like, I cannot drink more. I am so fucking dead. So then that resulted in we just went back and like went to bed. Woke up the next day, all came home. It was a very, very eventful first 2 weeks down here in South Florida, I will say. Like, I have had so much going on. I feel like I've not been on my phone at all. And I don't know, I've just loved it. Like, I really do feel like this has been the best move for me. This weekend, I'm going up to New York for my friend Izzy's pod release party. She's releasing a podcast with her friend, and they're having like a podcast release party. So me and Katie are going to go up there. So I'll be in New York this weekend, but I love where I am right now so much. I don't even like care to leave. Like, I told my mom that. I was like, I don't know, I feel like when I lived with you guys or when I lived in Georgia, I just wanted to keep traveling, and like living here and not even having plans isn't making me like restless. I think I'm in a honeymoon stage. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I've just been really, really loving it. It's so tropical and beachy, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me talk about, though, really quickly. I just want to put a PSA out there to the girls, because I just feel like if I can give you some guy advice and how to not get yourself into some shit and how to just like steer clear of fucking drama, this is the advice I'm going to give you guy wise. If a guy has a girlfriend, get the fuck out. Don't entertain it. Do not entertain it in the slightest. One of the boys we met at the club on Saturday, my first weekend down here, we were Snapchatting. There was no flirtiness at all. Nothing going on. Like, I would say it was very friend vibes. But did some research. Motherfucker has a girlfriend. And I'm like texting my friends that were with me, and I'm like, wait, guys, I'm so confused. I think he has a girlfriend. And they're like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, I think so. And so I just straight up asked him, like, on Snapchat. I was like, hey, do you have a girlfriend? And he's like, yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard recently, or like it's been rocky recently. 16-year-old me would have been like, whatever. Like, it's been like, they're probably about to break up, so like it doesn't matter. Guys, you lose them the way you find them. If a guy, and maybe this isn't true for you, like maybe you're like, nope, bitch, my husband cheated on me with his girlfriend and now we're married and happy. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Personally, from what I've experienced and from what I've seen friends experience and just horror stories, you lose them the way you find them. If you find a guy, he's in a relationship and he breaks up with his girlfriend for you, guess what? He's probably going to do the same thing fucking over again. Unless it really is one of those scenarios. I've had a guy friend who I've known him for years, and during the time I've known him, he has always talked about how he felt like his relationship wouldn't last long term. And he was kind of like, he wouldn't come to me for advice, and I honestly rarely saw him. He's just one of those people that I've known for years and like randomly will see. He sometimes would mention to me, and it was never a thing like him coming on to me, but he would sometimes mention to me like, I don't know how I'm feeling, whatever. And they had been together for a very long time. And so they wound up breaking up kind of recently. And I think that's a scenario that's a little bit like, okay, it seemed like they kind of just stayed together because it was easy, and then they wound up breaking up. But I still think you need to give that person time after they break up and like not touch it for a while, because like, I just think the biggest red flag is when someone gets out of a relationship and they're immediately fucking onto you. Like, if they are literally so like, ugh, like, no, I hate my ex, I don't think about her, I don't care about her, it's because they haven't dealt with it. They don't like deal with the actual pain until later. It hits them later on. Leave them, let them be. And if a guy has a girlfriend, whether he's saying something's wrong or something's not, and he's trying to come on to you, do not entertain it. The second the guy said, oh, I have a girlfriend, it's been rocky, unfollow, unadd immediately. Like, I want to act like I'd never fucking met you. Because to me, I'm just like, if I had a boyfriend and he's out at a club and he meets a girl and gets her Snapchat or anything and then is Snapchatting her, what? Why are you doing that? Like, I hate phones for that reason, because I'm just like, what are you doing? What is the point in doing that? Why are you doing that? Why? Like, there is no reason whatsoever to do that. So, girls, I'm just telling you right now, take it as a red flag. Don't make excuses for them. It's fucked. It's not like that. They're being sneaky. You wouldn't want your boyfriend doing that to you. So don't be the girl on the other side of it. I'm telling you. The girls I was with, they're a little bit older than me, like a few years. They were like, oh my God, like, that's why we can't do younger men. Like, I'm sure the older man do it too, but just, I feel like younger, I don't know. I can't. Roster right now though, because that was another question. Oh, hey, hottie. Roster right now, completely blank. There's no one on the bench. There's no one I'm texting. We met a few cute guys up here where I live, but I want to keep everyone up here friends right now. I don't even want to think of anyone being more than that, because I just want friends. Like, I'm not really looking for a man. But I have some news that's not shocking. I fear I genuinely am into older men. And I'm not trying to make that cool. I'm not trying to make that fun. Like, I understand for some people it's like, that's weird. You know, some people have young souls. Like, some older men just have younger souls. I also feel like I sometimes have an older soul, and I just think like older men know, like the ones that have aura, they know what they're doing more. Like, they know the right things to say, the right things to ask, the things you don't fucking say. They know how to like take you out properly. I will say I've still never gone on a fucking date like in my entire life. How fucking wild is that? Might have one this weekend in NYC. So we'll see about that, baby. But I don't know. I just think like, guys, if I have a boyfriend, I genuinely think, and when I say older, I'm unfortunately saying like 35 and older is kind of where I'm like, oh, like, why are they so bad? But I think if I get a boyfriend, he has to be above the age of like 28. Like, I think he would literally have to. Recently, a few of the guys I feel like I have talked to that I've talked to y'all about a little bit have all been over 24 and up. And I'm still like, why is your maturity level literally at the age of fucking a 19-year-old? Like a 19-year-old boy. Why do you literally still talk, act, and fucking crash out like a 19-year-old boy? I don't get it. I don't know what they're putting in these kids' food nowadays, especially the fucking athletes. I don't know what they're chumming down on, but it's not good. It's not fucking good. So that's my update there. But I don't care right now. Like, I'm so glad. I feel like I got out of Georgia just because there's so many more things down here for me that I can entertain myself with, and I can make myself happy. And I feel like I know what makes me happy down here, to where I don't really care about like I care about men, but I'm not like down bad. I was on my period and I cried because I want kids, but like I don't know. Like, I don't know if I need a boyfriend or if I just need a little sneaky link. I think a sneaky link would be better, but like a sneaky link that we're like emotionally involved with each other, but just like it's chill and not serious. And then one day he whips out a ring. Like, something like that is more my vibe at the moment. But yeah, going to New York, I'm sure I'll have more stuff to tell you in New York. Maybe me and Katie can like record a little bit of the pod. I know this week's wasn't super like whatever, but I just think a life update was needed. I need to do some more episodes revolved around more topics, but also I want to ask you guys, do you like episodes revolved more around topics, or do you guys like episodes more that are just kind of like life updates? I don't really know. I feel like I would like to do more topics and make it kind of more of a show, because it makes it a little bit easier for me. Well, that would be harder. It makes it easier in the sense of like, I know what to talk about. Sometimes when I'm freeballing it, I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know what you want. I hope you guys are doing good. I fly to New York in the morning, so next week when I see you, I'll have had that trip. But yeah, I love you guys. I'm so grateful for you guys. Make sure you're following the YouTube, because I have been like putting actual fucking work into these videos, and I really, really love them. So make sure you stay tuned there. Follow Was That TMI on Instagram for updates, and you always get pictures and like things that don't get posted on the regular Instagram. So go follow. I love you guys. I hope you're doing great. And yeah, love you. Bye.